Ever have one of those days where you just feel off? You know the feeling. Your stomach's a mess, you've got zero patience, and your brain feels like it's wading through thick mud. You probably just chalk it up to stress, right? Or maybe that lunch you ate. But what if it's something deeper, something biological that's tying your mind and your gut together? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. Yeah, if that question right there resonates with you, you are so not alone. That really frustrating feeling where your stomach and your mind are just completely in sync, but in the worst possible way, it's not a coincidence. Nope, there's a real biological reason for it.
And listen, this is the key takeaway right here. That link between how you feel in your gut and how you feel in your head, it is not just you being stressed out or it being all in your head. It is a real, physical, biological thing that's happening. And just understanding that, that's the absolute first step toward actually feeling better. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about something called gut inflammation. The best way to picture it, imagine a kind of slow, silent fire smoldering inside your digestive system. It's not loud, but it's constantly sending these little smoke signals right up to your brain. And those signals, they're messing with everything. Your mood, your focus, you name it. Okay, so what is gut inflammation, really? In simple terms, it's when the lining of your gut, your digestive tract, gets all irritated and damaged. But here's the thing, that irritation doesn't just stay in your stomach. It's like an alarm system that starts broadcasting distress signals all over your body, affecting your entire system. And that brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing, the gut-brain connection. Seriously, think of it like a superhighway. A two-way street connecting your gut and your brain. And once you get this, it explains so much about why we feel the way we do. Now, this isn't some wacky new idea, okay? This is solid science. I mean, we've got researchers from Harvard Health confirming it. They're saying that inflammation in your gut can, and does, send distress signals straight up to your brain. And what does that do? It can directly trigger feelings of anxiety, stress, and yeah, that brain fog we all know so well. So, how does this whole communication network actually work? Well, there are basically four main ways this happens. First, you've got something called the vagus nerve. Think of it as a direct telephone line from your gut to your brain, sending super fast signals. Second, these little inflammation chemicals can actually get into your bloodstream and travel right up to your brain, impacting how it works. Third, and this one is going to blow your mind, your gut bacteria actually make the chemicals that control your mood. Get this, something like 95% of your body's serotonin, that's your feel-good chemical, is produced in your gut. And finally, if your digestion is a mess, you're just not absorbing nutrients properly, which means your brain isn't getting the fuel it needs to work right. All right, so how do you know if this is actually happening to you? What are the signs? Because it's not always just a simple stomachache, right? Your body is leaving you little clues. You just have to know what to look for. Okay, so you've really got two sides of the same coin here. On one side, you have all the stuff you'd expect, right? The digestive symptoms, bloating, cramping, gas, all that fun stuff. But then, on the other side, you've got these whole body symptoms. We're talking about fatigue, that brain fog again, mood swings, even headaches or joint aches. It really proves that the fire in your gut isn't just a gut problem. It's an everything problem. Okay, that leads us to the million-dollar question. What's starting this fire in the first place? Where is all this inflammation coming from? Let's put on our detective hats for a second and look at the usual suspects. Now, your first guess is probably diet, right? And yeah, that's a big one. But the number one hidden trigger, the biggest one of all, is something most of us face every single day, and we almost never link it to what's happening in our stomachs. You guessed it, it's stress. Think about it. When you get stressed out, your body goes into fight or flight mode. It pumps out hormones like cortisol. And what do? They divert blood flow away from your digestive system to your muscles so you can run away from that saber-toothed tiger or, deal with that angry email. But if you're chronically stressed, your gut is constantly being starved of the resources it needs. And that, right there, leads directly to inflammation. But of course, stress isn't working alone. There are other triggers. A diet packed with processed foods and sugar, that's basically a feast for the bad bacteria in your gut, leading to an imbalance we call dysbiosis. And you can add a whole bunch of other stuff to the list too. Not getting enough sleep, maybe some old infections hanging around, even using things like NSAIDs or drinking alcohol too often can all add fuel to that fire. Okay, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's talk solutions. Because here's the really good news. This is fixable. You are not stuck with this. So let's get into the practical, science-backed toolkit you can start using, like today, to put out that fire. All right, so since stress is the number one bad guy here, the single most powerful thing you can do is start by calming down your nervous system. And no, this doesn't mean you have to go on a month-long meditation retreat. We're talking about simple things like 5 minutes of deep breathing, taking a short walk, especially outside, or just stop multitasking for a bit. These little things can lower those stress hormones and basically send a message to your gut that says, hey, it's safe, you can relax now. Next up, let's talk food. And the strategy here is simple. Think about what you can add to your diet, not just what you need to take away. So add more fiber from things like fruits, veggies, and beans. Your good gut bacteria love that stuff. Then you can gently start to reduce the obvious triggers, like too much sugar or processed junk. Maybe try bringing in some fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi, which are amazing for your microbiome. And the easiest one of all, just drink plenty of water. And again, this isn't just guesswork. Big institutions like the Cleveland Clinic point to fermented foods as a super powerful tool for supporting gut health. It's such a simple change, but it can make a huge difference in getting things back in balance. See? All these little steps, from the breathing to the food, they really add up. The point is not to get overwhelmed and try to change everything overnight. Just start small. Pick 1 or 2 simple things you can do. The whole idea is to just begin that healing process today. So let's pull all of this together. The biggest shift I want you to make is this. Stop thinking of your bloating or your brain fog or your bad mood as just random annoying problems. Start seeing them for what they really are. They're messages. Your body is trying to tell you something. Because when you actually listen to those messages and you start to address the root cause, that inflammation, this amazing positive ripple effect starts to happen. Suddenly, your focus comes back. Your digestion settles down. Your mood isn't all over the place. You actually have energy again. See? It is all connected. So please, the next time you feel that way, that off feeling, I want you to remember this. You are not just stressed. That's a real, powerful, biological process happening inside you. And you are 100% not imagining it. That gut-brain connection is real. The symptoms are real, and they are totally valid. So your gut is talking to you. It's sending you messages. The only question left is, now that you're starting to understand the language, what are you going to do about it?